Hello everyone, welcome back to In My Shed. I'm BC. Got a little bit of time today to try and get another episode out on this drill grinder. It's been a difficult job nutting it out and getting the operations in the right sequence, and I think I'm going to cheat a little bit. This is the main pivot that gets welded to the upright tube frame, and these are the two blocks to get welded to the side of the workhead bearing area. And I'm going to square these off, mount them together with this in between at the end of the vise, and put the 20-degree angle on the bottom of them, that way to try and get the correct spacing, and also to get the same angle on both the supports. I want it to go together with reasonable fit up, so that when I tack it up with the welder, it's actually going to work. And I'll leave the assembly bar a fair bit longer in case I couldn't use the slide hammer to pull it out after I weld it. Trying to think a bit ahead there, I have been caught with doing that before. So I'll bring you in a little closer with the telephoto, and it's only just a simple facing operation and get it down to length. Won't take too long. Okay, back in a minute. Okay, we'll make a bit of noise now and take a bit of that off. Hit the energizer. Oh bugger. We'll have another try, see if we've got some power this time. I don't know what that was about. And it's going. All I want to do is take enough off to square it up. It's a nice little face, smell this. 2-inch, and it takes the old-fashioned SPUN inserts, and I've had a good run with it. That sounds like the money. Sounds like it was good. Let's see how close we are. I think I'll call that good. Okay, I've just got to square the others up and deburr them, and then we'll drill a few holes, but that'll all be boring, so I'll give you a bit of peace. G'day guys, got you back again. I didn't want to bore you with all the slow stuff happening around, but I've cleaned them up within a reasonable size, and I've stack drilled them, or put them up for stack drilling on a couple of short parallels, and I found that the vise is a little bit worn. I had to put a bit of 1.5 thou shim in behind the top block to get it to tighten up in the jaws. Now, I'm an old-fashioned guy. I just use the odd leg caliper set from the rule to establish where I want the hole to go through. Now, one interesting thing that I do, getting the spindle on the hole, I use a centre finder in the chuck, drop it down into the centre hole and feel around the centre finder. And with your fingers you can pick up between 1/2 to 1 thou of it protruding, so I should be on position where I've centre punched it within about 1 thou. That's quite an easy way to do it. Now, a couple of things I was taught, but I couldn't use here because there's a rough surface finish. But if you use a prick punch, toolmaker's prick punch, which is round to 60 degrees, not 90 on the end, you can place it on one layout line, drag it along until you get to the intersection, and you can actually feel it click in, and you can get it reasonably accurately there. So I use this little one. It's a Starrett centre punch. I find it's fabulous. It's been with me for many, many years. And of course, when I'm using something fine like that, I use a much smaller hammer. The Irish in me says I should use a big one. But in all theory now, I should be within about a hour where I want to be. So take the centre finder out. Put a 1/2 inch drill in. And we should be able to make a reasonably accurate hole on site. That woke me up. Well, I'd like to have this in the radial arm drill at the moment, but it's not an easy setup to do this. Now I'm just using Maxwell's drilling and tapping compound. It's a timber group I've had for many a year. Seems to do the job well, and it's not too messy. I see a lot of guys on YouTube drowning the job in curl, but it's just not necessary. Unless you're really giving it some horsepower. It's a boring old video, if you don't mind the pun. I think I'll move that handle around a bit. Nearly there. That's it, we're through. We'll clean up the mess and show you the components put together. Okay, now we have the first mock-up of the main components. Now I'll have to invert these, and I'll leave the centerpiece and the bar there to try and keep it all in the right proportions. I'll mill off the bottom of these so they'll sit flush on top of the main body, and then I'll assemble it up and tack weld these onto the body to check that the relationship's right, and I'm only going to tack them on because knowing me and the way I foul things up, I may have to bust them apart in the future. Yes, when I machine this, the end of that bar will be going into the body, so I'm going to fit it up, mark the body, and then machine a groove into the body to allow the rod to fit into it. I think that should be quite an easy part. Once it's tacked up, I can then put it up on the horizontal borer, bore the main body through 25mm for the workhead, and also swing it around 20 degrees and come back and drill and bore the hole through the spindle there for 16mm. So it's starting to come together, a few more days work, and I think we'll be able to see the body assembled and bored. And I think it's going to work. I think that the converging point will be just about right for the drill point. And you've got to appreciate that these will be much lower, so it'll bring the converging point back a little bit further. And if I do get the converging point out a little bit, all I have to do is overbore the bore and bush it and move the axis a little bit further in or out. But I think it's going to work with what I've got there. Okay, that's all for now. You don't want to see any more boring stuff, although I might bring you back in once I've milled the bases off there. And if you haven't already, please like and subscribe. See you later. Well, here's a bit more of work in progress. It's starting to look the money. It's very, very close to the mock-up sketch, so I'm pleased with that. With the sketch, I get the correct convergence that I'm after. That's going to be the grinding end, and this will be the business end with U-stand. I've got to mill off part of that cylinder now, and I'll mark out how much it is. I'm pretty sure that I can go directly from the mock-up sketch that I made, which appears to be dead accurate. Whoop. So it's very, very close, back to front of course. But there it shows the cylinder interfering with the body, and it doesn't matter if I take some off the cylinder because the cylinder will be stationary welded to the frame, and these will be swinging with that being the pivot. So I think it's going to work. Well, looking good. Okay, bye for now. Bring you back next week or when I can. Please like and subscribe.